And a welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Great Lakes Honda City coming to you on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. They're open for sales and service Monday through Saturday, as well as always online at greatlakeshondacity.com. Make sure you go and visit them today at greatlakeshondacity.com with new and used vehicles. And you can, of course, buy and lease from Great Lakes Honda City here in our community of Central and Upstate New York. It is a Monday, so Murph is here with us, and we're going to start things off here on youtube.com and facebook.com, both /wakeupcalldt, and on wakeupcalldt.mixlr.com by having a conversation about a bunch of different pieces of the sports world. We'll start in the world of Major League Baseball, and then we'll jump over into the NFL, the National Football League, with the season just about to officially start here as we are in the preseason and getting ready for those regular season games. Of course, getting ready for fantasy football and your fantasy football leagues. We have a bunch of drafts coming up this week and very much looking forward to that this week and next week, I should say. So with that being stated, we can't wait to jump into some NFL talk, college football, as well as the world of golf. So with that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, we now bring in Murph, my other half, here on Mondays to discuss all of these wonderful pieces of our sports world, starting in the NFL. Murph, how we doing? Oh, Murph, we got you on mute here for a second. Just got to take you off of mute. So, how we doing, Murph?
Oh man, what a fail on my part. What a great start to an important day, huh?
You're all good. You're all good.
But yeah, we're doing good. Obviously you can tell I'm dressed for golf. I actually have a tournament today, and I am quite literally the last group off. So when I found out my tee time, I texted you and was like, "Hey, I didn't think I would have time today. I do. Let's freaking do it."
Yeah, no, and happy to have you here on the broadcast. We're going to jump right into it, into Major League Baseball and the goings-on of Major League Baseball. I do want to start first and foremost with where these divisions are. So the Tampa Bay Rays continue to be in first place in the American League East. They have given themselves a 5.5 game advantage over the New York Yankees. The Boston Red Sox are still within striking distance at 8.5 games back. The Orioles and the Blue Jays are 13 or more games back at this point. In the American League Central, the Chicago White Sox have proven up to this point that they are no fluke. They had a nice start to the season. Top team in the AL Central, second team in the AL Central, all got back to first and have stayed in the driver's seat for a long time. Looking at the second half of this season, it's been the White Sox, and they are above the Detroit Tigers by 5.5 games. The Twins and the Guardians are both 6 games back, and the Kansas City Royals with Bobby Witt Jr. 15 games out of first place of the AL Central. Then we head to the American League West with the Houston Astros. They go back and forth every year with the Texas Rangers. Houston versus Arlington. And right now, Texas is 2 games behind Houston, 4 games behind Houston. The Seattle Mariners and the 3 of them typically perennially fight for that number 1 spot of the American League. The Athletics are 13.5 games back, and the Angels are 14 games back, and the keepers of the worst record in baseball. Actually, it's worse than the Athletics, because they have 49 wins, which the Athletics also have, but they have 76 losses. The Athletics have 1 less at the time we're talking, with 75. So let's stay with the American League, Murph, and your thoughts on how the East, the Central, and the West are right now, as we are about 120 plus games into the 2026 season.
Well, for me, it's, the story of the year is the Yankees. You look at what typically happens when Aaron Judge gets hurt. Things don't usually go well for them.
Yeah.
And, we're kind of seeing more of the same. They're kind of just chugging along. Like, are they still going to make the playoffs? Yeah, probably. But the bats go ice cold. It happens every time Judge is hurt. And it's getting to the point where it's borderline ridiculous. I don't know what on earth goes through these guys' heads when their best player gets hurt, because the entire team just shuts off. Like, I get it. Your best player's hurt. You're probably not going to be as good. but that doesn't mean you guys just stop hitting altogether. It's like the rest of the lineup, outside of maybe Ben Rice, has forgotten how to hit. So I don't know what goes on in that clubhouse when Judge isn't there. Something has to be addressed there. And I mean, we've been saying this for years that a lot of it is on the manager, Aaron Boone, who probably should have been fired 5 times by now. And if George Steinbrenner was still around, he would have probably been fired 5 times already, and then rehired and then fired again, just like Billy Martin in the 70s and 80s. Um, but yeah, it's one of those things where they just cannot seem to figure things out without him. The Red Sox are still doing their thing, but they have cooled off considerably.
Yeah.
Obviously, as you know, they won, what was it, 16 games in a row at one point to basically boost themselves into contention. And now they're 3 games back behind the Yankees. They've lost 7 of the last 10, but they're right back in play. They can easily be a wild card team because, they currently hold the second wild card spot behind the Yankees. The rest of the American League is not particularly giving you a great showing. Out in the Central, the White Sox, we've talked about them for a while. They've been probably one of the surprise teams of the year. Made some moves at the deadline. Murakami's come in and he's done, Murakami things from what we saw over in Japan, hitting a lot of home runs.
Yeah.
He's been a pleasant surprise for them this year. He was a guy that had some question marks coming over to the big leagues when it came to hitting velocity. There were some issues with him hitting velocity over in Japan and over here in the States, in the WBC, and he's kind of put those concerns to bed. He might have been the best signing of the offseason for any team. Any team. And then, look at out west. I'd be shocked if the winner of that division's over 500 at this point. I mean, the Astros are 1 game over 500 and have a 2-game lead. Every single team in that division has a negative run differential, which honestly is not all that surprising because none of them are particularly good. But the Rangers may be losing Jacob deGrom. That's not an ideal situation for them. Seattle just hasn't been able to get things going with their bats. The A's and the Angels are way out of it, so we know that. But at this point, I think it's going to come down to Houston and Texas, and the winner of that division might only win 83, 84 games if they're lucky. But as far as the American League goes, Cleveland's been a little surprising, being where they are right now. I don't want to say out of contention, but they're kind of out of contention. They're 6 games back of the White Sox in the Central. There's no real indications that they are going to make a run here at any point. But who knows? I mean, looking at the AL East right now, if you look at the bottom of the AL East with the Orioles and Toronto, they would be, let's see, a game and a half out in the West. Just to put that in perspective, they're in last and second to last place in the AL East. They would be in a very close second in the AL West if they were in that division.
Yeah, it's crazy to look at some, and I've done that before too. When you look at a race like the NL West and where the Dodgers, the Padres, the Diamondbacks are, and if you took the Diamondbacks, who are in third place right now, and you were to put them in the NL East, they'd be right around second place. And then if you put them in the AL West, if you move them from the NL West to the AL West, they'd be leading the entire division. The Arizona Diamondbacks would. They'd be leading the AL Central as well. So it's just interesting how, some things are here when you look at teams and say, oh man, they're this far out of first place. They're not doing well in their division. But then you look at them overall, what they're doing nationally, and they very much would be running the West on the other side in the American League, and they would be running the AL Central. So let's look at the National League here in a second. But to go off your point here, I mean, the Chicago White Sox and Murakami, and when he went out and was hurt earlier on the season, he was leading the nation in home runs. So leading the American League, is doing a great job overall. And the Chicago White Sox, with what they've been through. I mean, this is a team that's zero to hero. I mean, this is a team that's you expect 100 losses, and now you have a divisional leader. And if they continue to have the pace that they've had the majority of the season, they will be in the postseason. And that's saying a lot about this Chicago White Sox team and the fact that they weren't in the basement last year. They've been in the basement for multiple years. It isn't a 1 year where they had a rough year and now they're back at it. They've been one of the worst teams in baseball with the Athletics and the Colorado Rockies, and now they're finding their way to climb the mountain, and credit to them for that. The New
They're
York
only a couple of years removed. Sorry, they're only a couple of years removed from setting the all-time record for losses in a single season,
Yeah, I mean,
for
and then
worst record of all time, taking that away from the 1962 Mets. So thank you, Chicago White Sox, so that I don't have to hear about that anymore. But yeah, they're only a couple years removed from that. So I think that makes it even more impressive.
yeah, and it is just crazy seeing how far they've come. Bill said MLB needs to go to two divisions, AL and NL. So essentially, to get rid of the East, the Central, and the West, and just have it be an entire American League and an entire National League. That would, we've seen that happen with collegiate athletics that have done away with divisions in football, and a lot of the conferences. The ACC did it in recent history. So, I mean, that if that were to be today, like if that happened right now, then in the American League, just for people to know here, the Tampa Bay Rays would be the number one team. The number two team would be the New York Yankees. The number three team would be the Boston Red Sox, all from the same division. Then the Chicago White Sox, then the Houston Astros, then the Texas Rangers, and then the Detroit Tigers and Minnesota Twins would be actually the Baltimore Orioles. Then the
Actually, the
Tigers
Orioles would
and
be
the
ahead of
Twins.
Texas
Yeah, so
because they have one less loss.
yeah, 63. So it would be Orioles, then Rangers. So you would actually have four American League East teams that would be high on this before you're touching the second team in the AL West and before you're going to the majority of the teams in the AL Central. So that would be interesting. I do want to get to the Yankees though, because they are 5-5 in their last 10 games. I've gotten to see them live, and getting to see them live recently here, I could say I have a different viewpoint of the Yankees. I know that, Garrett Cole may not be perfect, nobody is, but seeing what some of these guys have been able to do. I mean, Garrett Cole is Garrett Cole, and he's going to bring good things to the team. Weathers, it was out there yesterday, helped them beat the Blue Jays, which was huge because the Blue Jays had beaten them in this series as well. And the Blue Jays are the last place team in the American League East. I was on site for them to defeat the Atlanta Braves. They won 2 out of 3 against a team that's been good all year and leading the, NL East most of the season. So for me, watching the Yankees without Aaron Judge, I've seen Ben Rice get out of a slump. I've seen Lombard step it up. I, have seen some of the defense of this team really show up, and the pitching's done a good job. So even though there's a 5-5 record in the last 10, I see the Yankees a little bit differently in the sense of they're still in it. They're still alive. And a lot of teams, you take away their best player, they're not going to look the same. They're not even going to be relevant if you take away their best player. And in the case of Aaron Judge being out now for many, many weeks, the Yankees being within 5.5 games of the Rays is huge. And like I said, if there were no divisions and it was just the American League, the number 2 team going to the playoffs would be the Yankees. So, they're just shy of 70 wins. I see them a little bit differently this year because I've seen them have a lot of good moments in different series, despite the fact that they're dealing with Stanton being out, they're dealing with Judge being out. Yeah, I've seen some good things, and I think Lombard is one of the best stories, if not the best, young star story in Major League Baseball right now, of a guy who stepped in during the season and immediately had an impact offensively and defensively. So I will say that though the Yankees are behind, I think if they were a lot farther behind, people wouldn't be surprised. So I do give credit for the band of brothers figuring it out for sure.
Oh, 100%. George Lombard Jr. coming up. has been a nice little bright spot for the Yankees and starting to get them back on track until Judge comes back. And I think Judge might still be out a little while. And obviously, this is gonna eliminate the chance of him winning a third consecutive MVP award. Um, but he's the type of guy that when he's in the lineup, everybody knows it, and he's probably one of the most feared hitters in all of baseball. And it'll be good for them when they get him back. Before we move over to the National League, I do want to point something out that I just noticed. Yordan Alvarez is on Triple Crown watch, folks. He leads all of baseball in hitting at 321. He is third in baseball in Major League Baseball in home runs, but he's leading the American League in home runs with 36. And he's leading the American League in runs batted in. We haven't seen a Triple Crown since Miggy in 2012. Maybe it could happen. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We still have about 6 weeks left in the season, so anything could happen. But I'm just saying we do have Yordan Alvarez on Triple Crown watch. And no one has talked about it so far.
Well,
not a soul.
And I think, obviously when you have these guys on watch for the opportunity to have a Triple Crown, which is a beautiful thing in baseball. It's something that's very hard. I mean, I think when people talk about,
it's so hard to do.
Right. And when we talk about statistics and just, what some people have achieved making it in Major League Baseball, to be called up, to get out there, to hit off of a Major League pitcher, to jump up in the air and prevent a home run, to pitch multiple scoreless innings. I mean, there's a lot of things that these guys do that get left by the wayside because they make it look easy. And in the case of the Triple Crown, it is an amazing feat for any baseball player to push to accomplish. And when we look at it, I want to give some history here in the Triple Crown winners. I want to go back to 1878. Paul Hines did it with the Providence Grays in the National League. And then in 1894, Hugh Duffy of the Boston Bean Eaters in the National League. In 1901,
sure,
it was Nap LaJoie of the Philadelphia Athletics in the American League. In 1909, this is a name a lot of people know, Ty Cobb did it with the Detroit Tigers of the American League. In 1912, Heine
I want to know how many home runs he hit in that year. Probably like 6.
He said 9 home runs.
9.
So
oh my God, 9 home runs.
9 home runs.
Crown.
Because
now, mind you, folks, this is the dead ball era. That's before Babe Ruth.
Yeah, so when you look at the Triple Crown, we're talking leading in batting average, home runs, and RBIs. So Cobb, he only had to get 9 home runs to do it in 1909. In 1912, Heine Zimmerman of the Chicago Cubs did it in the National League. 1922 and in 1925, it was Rogers Hornsby of the St. Louis Cardinals in the National League. And then in 1933, Chuck Klein of the Philadelphia Phillies in the National League. And then we have in 1933 also Jimmy Fox of the Philadelphia Athletics in the American League, back when Philadelphia had a franchise in both the American and the National Leagues. That happened in the same year in 1933 for Klein and Fox. In 34, Lou Gehrig for the Yankees in the American League. 37, Joe Medwick for the St. Louis Cardinals of the National League. 42 and 47 were Ted Williams of the Boston Red Sox in the American League. In 1956, it was Mickey Mantle, New York Yankees, American League. 1966, Frank Robinson of the Baltimore Orioles in the American League. In 1967, Carl Yastrzemski, Boston Red Sox of the American League. To make you feel old, Yastrzemski is playing for the Braves now, the next in line. And then we have in 2012, Miguel Cabrera of the Detroit Tigers of the American League. It's a very, very difficult thing to get to, and when we look at the history, the last
especially in the modern game, for sure.
Right, because you talk about getting to the Triple Crown, and the last time it happened was 14 years ago. If it happens this year,
yeah, and it hadn't happened before that since Carl Yastrzemski in the 70s.
Yeah,
I mean, we're talking 50 years, and we've had 2 Triple Crown winners. Now, part of the reason why it's so difficult in today's day and age is because most of the guys that hit for a lot of power, a lot of guys will lead the league in home runs and RBI, but not many of them will lead the league in hitting, in batting average. Most of these big power hitters these days are not hitting for average. They're hitting maybe 250, 260. That's not going to win a batting championship.
Yeah.
So looking at what Yordan Alvarez has done, and he's a guy that he's strictly a DH. He is the front runner to win the American League Most Valuable Player award this year, and I don't think it's remotely close. I don't see anybody else that's really going to give him a run for his money right now without Aaron Judge. So he's probably the MVP anyway. Even though he is a DH, he'll be the second full-time DH to win the award, even though I think he's a handful of games out in left field. He is a player that, for starters, he could have been on the Dodgers, folks. We talk about all these great moves that the Dodgers have made over the years. That's the one move that they will always, always, always regret. And I can't for the life of me remember who they traded for him or who they traded him for, but he has definitely worked out for the Houston Astros there. He's already won a championship. He's, routinely their best player. He's fun to watch. But yeah, like, you don't see very many players winning Triple Crowns. Like when Miguel Cabrera did it in 2012, it was kind of unprecedented. That stuff doesn't happen anymore. You'll see pitching Triple Crowns. Pitching Triple Crown is the ERA title wins and ERA wins and strikeouts. So you'll see guys win that. Like, that's not that uncommon. But a batting Triple Crown is very, very, very rare. Yeah. So if we get to see one this year, that would be awfully cool. But Yordan is on Triple Crown watch. Please start talking about it because we need people to actually know about this.
Yeah, no, and it's important. Like we talked about, how many years have passed, 1967, then 2012, and now here we are. So that shows you in and of itself. This is not something that happens every few years, every year. Sometimes it doesn't happen for many, many decades. So leading,
like the horse racing Triple Crown.
Right.
Remember how long it was since Affirmed won it in 78 before American Pharoah in 2015? And then we only had to wait 3 more years to see another one. And now it's been 8 years since.
Yeah. So
and now they're not even running all 3 races. This year's winner won the Derby and Belmont and did not race in the Preakness. I don't know if we're going to see another one because these trainers aren't letting the horses compete in the Preakness. And then they're going and winning the Derby and the Belmont, and they have nothing to show for it with the Preakness. When they could have easily we could have easily had a Triple Crown winner this year. Easily. That horse coming worst to first in both of those races, unreal to watch. But they're not running the Preakness anymore. So this is becoming just as rare again. There's only been 13 horses to ever do it. Obviously, the most famous is Secretariat back in 1973. But it's the same thing. Like, it's a rare feat that you don't get to see very often. So, number one, let's give these horses a chance. Number two, as far as Yordan Alvarez is concerned, this dude can do it. He hits for a very high average on a consistent basis. He can do it.
Yeah. And seeing what he's done up to this point with the Houston Astros, 36 home runs this season, 88 RBIs, and a batting average of .321 for the Cuban-born Yordan Alvarez. So big ups to what he's doing, and hopefully we'll get to see another opportunity here for a Triple Crown. Once again, Triple Crown, you have to lead the American or the National League, the entire league, so that's 15 teams now. Before it was less, but leading the American League or the National League in all of these categories: batting average, home runs, and runs batted in, aka RBIs. So we'll see if Alvarez can keep it going. Hopefully he will, as we can see history in the making here in the Major League Baseball 2026 season for him and the Astros. We'll take a step aside for a fast break here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. When we come back, we'll have more in the Major League Baseball world. Thank you for staying with us here inside of the Great Lakes Honda City Studios.
Big West, only the bold.
Hi, this is Gina Husted. I'm part owner of Skippy's Ice Cream. The other half is my better half, Don Husted Jr. When somebody comes up to the truck and it's a family, it's nice that the older generation is nostalgic and they can tell the younger generation, back in my day, we used to have the truck around our neighborhood. So now you're lucky because the truck can come to your party, and you're lucky that this truck is at a festival and you're getting to buy the ice cream. And basically we're ice cream that comes to you now, specifically comes to you, not for you waiting for us, we're coming to you. We will do neighborhoods if you have a block party. We do birthdays, we do anniversaries, we do celebrations of life, we do wedding showers, we do festivals, we'll do corporate events, we have a lot of corporate picnics, we have family reunions, so it's a whole wide range of whatever party you have, we'd love to be at. We're so appreciative of the community, always coming up to us at festivals and calling us to have different events. We have a lot of return customers. We always have people coming up to our truck. We're always there for the community. We always try to give back to different organizations and fundraisers, and so I think the community sees that. We like to give back to them. This is where we live. This is where we were raised. This is where our kids were raised. So the community is very special to us. I mean, obviously we've lived here our whole lives, so it means a lot that they come up to our truck and that they choose us, because we're just there to please the community and deal with as many people as we can in this community, because this is, like I said, where we were born and raised. If you'd like to get in touch with Skippy's Ice Cream and have us at your next event, I would suggest using our email, skipthecake, skipthecake, skipthecake@gmail.com. That's the fastest way to get a hold of us. It's the easiest way to get a hold of us, and that's going to get the fastest response from us. If you choose to call, if you don't have an email, then you can call 315-456-9750, and we'll be glad to get back to you as soon as we can. Skippy's Ice Cream, the original ice cream truck.
In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you. Life gets busy, and sometimes that means us running around. So Canine Camp Dog Daycare offers you an opportunity to give your dog a place to stay while you take care of what you need to throughout the day. Canine Camp Dog Daycare is located on 228 Old Bridge Street in East Syracuse, New York. You can see it from the highway, and it's just off of Erie Boulevard across from BJ's Wholesale Club. Call 315-437-7110. That's 315-437-7110 to schedule an appointment to bring your dog in and tour the facility. Appointments are Monday through Thursday after 6:30, where you and your dog can see everything that Canine Camp Dog Daycare has to offer, including a self-serve dog wash and a retail store filled with all of your dog's wants and needs, including food, treats, harnesses, leashes, and more, making Canine Camp Dog Daycare your one-stop shop for your furry loving friend. Right, Lily? Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily, and we bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have at any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
And welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Proud to be here with you. Appreciate being here with you where sports truly meets that thing called life as we are back inside these Great Lakes Honda City Studios. A reminder to you to head out to Great Lakes Honda City on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Open for sales and service Monday through Saturday and all the time online at greatlakeshondacity.com. We were talking about Major League Baseball before the break here with Murph Picture in Picture. It's now time for us to stay with that world of baseball and stay on the diamond and take a look at some of the things that are happening around Major League Baseball. One of the things that is sad today, for sure, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. I know I'm about to say something with Major League Baseball, but I got a message today, and it was weird because when I initially saw it, I was like, oh, let me text him. Let me just get in touch with him. And it's not the same anymore. And that's my buddy Rex Culpepper, good friend, fantastic human being. Those of you that know that he died in a fatal accident this year and had just gotten engaged. So this morning when I woke up, I got the reminder, like, today's Rex's birthday. And, you know, it makes you pause. It makes you think about a lot. And, I mean, his memory, just an incredible human being, wonderful person. The last thing he did was send me a video for my 21-year broadcasting anniversary, and he said he thanked me. He talked about, our just a connection overall. He said a lot of nice words. He said a lot of people are in this business for the wrong reasons. You always look out for us. You look out for the player, and I felt seen by Rex for sure. And I saw him. Everything that man went through, endured, and he always came out on the other side. And I know he is right now up in heaven, out on the other side in perpetual light. And I know he's doing well up there. I feel for his family today. I feel for his friends, his teammates, because he did. He made us feel seen, appreciated, known. When he knew you, there was no question. No question. He always showed up. And the last thing he said on that video was, "I'll see you soon, brother." And yeah, I mean, it makes you stop. It makes you appreciate life. If you're not, it makes you think about a lot. And waking up this morning and seeing the birthday thing, I mean, literally my knee-jerk reaction was to send him a happy birthday message. So Rex, happy birthday. We miss you. We love you. You are always going to live on because you affected so many lives in such a positive way. Your domino effect will be your legacy. And it never mattered how many passes you completed, never mattered how many touchdowns you had. It always mattered how you treated people, and you were good to us. And it's great to hear stories from other people of how you affected their lives in a positive way, because I know you did for me. So happy birthday in heaven. We miss you. And I just pray for Mr. and Mrs. Culpepper, his brother, his sister, his fiance, and everyone who's had a tough year this year, to say the very absolute least. And yeah, I'm going to miss you, Rex. Man, I wish I could FaceTime you right now. So happy birthday, and I love you, and appreciate your people, everybody. Just make sure you do that. So it's funny because I had a conversation with my dad about that over the weekend. But yeah, Murph, today's a special day. It's Rex's birthday, and I know that he'll make sure that there's light shining all over the place.
Yeah, it's, obviously it's always hard when you have the first one after somebody passes, and especially someone that you're close with. And um, sometimes you will forget, like, hey, let me shoot him a text, and you're like, oh, wait a minute. And then it kind of just stops you in your tracks, and you just kind of look up and say a prayer, and um, just think of him a little bit. So, obviously you're thinking about him today. A lot of people are going to be thinking about him today, and um, happy birthday in heaven, my friend.
Well, and there was this thing, and I think about where I was driving when I read this. I was in Liverpool, and I know exactly where I was when somebody said, you die twice. You die when you pass, and then you die when people stop saying your name. And I bring it up because, Rex, I'll make sure that the second one never happens. We'll keep talking about you, brother. Speaking of celebrating and honoring a life, one man who unfortunately is connected to a negative thing in sports is Tommy John, the namesake of Tommy John's surgery, right? And so, in the injury, the four-time All-Star won 288 games, was the namesake behind the elbow surgery that prolonged his career for 14 more years. He died over the weekend at the age of 83. He died in his home of Bradenton, Florida, the New York Yankees said in a statement on Sunday. Cause of death was not given, but he had been in hospice and was diagnosed with bladder cancer and other ailments in recent years. The team said in their statement, quote, "The New York Yankees mourn the passing of Tommy John, who is a bedrock of our rotation during his time in pinstripes and a longtime favorite of Yankees fans." While his incredible longevity and post-surgery achievements changed the fortunes and trajectory of countless athletes around the world, it also overshadowed his excellence as a pitcher, which included consecutive 20-win seasons with the Yankees. We pause to remember the totality of his legacy, his competitiveness and skill, his penchant for conversation, his kind and gracious nature, and his stature as an athletic and medical pioneer. The Yankees extend our deepest condolences to his family and friends, end quote. John shared a message about his health after missing the Yankees Old Timers Day on August 8th, when he said he wanted to say goodbye to everyone, including all of his friends and fans who followed him throughout his 26-year career. He said, quote, "I will never forget you," end quote. So, seeing this today, his name comes up all the time. And that's the thing. I mean, Tommy John is, you hear that name and it's so much bigger than the person. He was nicknamed the Bionic Man. He went on to pitch 14 more seasons after the surgery that he had on his elbow. Los Angeles Dodgers president and CEO Stan Kasten said, quote, "Tommy was an exceptional pitcher throughout his career in Major League Baseball, and his courageous role in becoming the first to have surgery that would go on to bear his name, cannot be overstated. His impact both on and off the field has been felt by ball players of all ages and will be for generations to come," end quote. The Dodgers had a pregame video and a moment of silence before Sunday's game. Tommy John had 124 wins in 355 games at the time of his procedure. He pitched in 405 more games after his procedure, won 164, and finished with a career record of 288 wins and 231 losses. The second most wins of any pitcher since 1900 not to be elected to the Hall of Fame, with a 3.34 ERA and 2,245 strikeouts and 760 career appearances. He's known for his 8 seasons with the Yankees, for whom he won 91 games over 2 stints, but he also was a member of the Chicago White Sox, the Los Angeles Dodgers. At the time, they were known as the California Angels, now the Los Angeles Angels, the Cleveland Indians at the time, which are now the Cleveland Guardians, and the Oakland Athletics, which are currently simply the Athletics. So, as we honor Tommy John here today, we understand that he is connected to this surgery, the surgery that helps to get pitchers back on the mound and give them new opportunities. So, Murph, I'll defer to you after giving some background here, but I send Tommy John's family our love, our support, and Tommy John, may perpetual light shine upon you, and may you dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Yeah, this one, everybody knows the name Tommy John, but not a lot of people know that he was a very good pitcher in his own right. He just happens to be the namesake for that groundbreaking surgery that the Dodgers team physician, Dr. Frank Jobe, performed on him back in the 70s. And ultimately, it laid the groundwork for thousands of procedures since. Just about every pitcher in Major League Baseball has had Tommy John surgery at least once. Not all of them. Obviously, there's plenty that didn't have it, that haven't had it. But essentially, there's a lot that have had it. Multiple that have had, a lot that have had a second one as well. Hunter Green of the Reds is having a second one this year. He had one, I think, when he first got drafted, and now he's having another one. Jacob deGrom's had 2. There's a few other guys that have had multiple. So, it's a surgery that honestly was revolutionary, and That injury, a tear of the ulnar collateral ligament, which if you don't know, is right here. That used to be a death sentence for pitchers. That was the end. Like, they were done. Nolan Ryan suffered that injury at the end, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if he had the surgery or not. Obviously, he was done.
Yeah.
He was 46 years old. Once his arm went, he was done. Like, it wasn't worth him coming back. But there's a lot of players that have had the surgery. It's honestly become too common these days, because human arms aren't always built to do what they're doing right now. And, ultimately it's saved a lot of careers. And it's not, also guys that come back and they're just not the same. Others come back stronger. It happens. Typically, if you need a second one, that's where things get a little tricky. But a lot of those guys are coming back. They're pitching well, and there's plenty of Hall of Famers that have had Tommy John at some point in their career. So ultimately, Tommy John was really the first one to take a chance and try it. Because if you're in his shoes, it's like, what do you got to lose?
Yeah.
All right. If the surgery fails, you're not a pitcher anymore. If the surgery succeeds, you can have a long career. And he played more seasons after the surgery than he did before the surgery, which is honestly kind of incredible at the time. He pitched 26 years in the big leagues. Can I also just make a case here, folks? How is this man not in the Hall of Fame? If not for his on-the-field accolades, him being the namesake of this surgery and the reason why it's so prevalent these days and the reason why that it's even an option for pitchers these days, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame for that alone. Because it revolutionized the game. It revolutionized medicine for baseball players. Obviously, it's not just a pitcher injury. There's hitters that have had it. Bryce Harper had Tommy John.
Yeah.
There's catchers that have had Tommy John.
Yeah.
But ultimately, he was a very good pitcher in his own right. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame for his play, not just the namesake of the surgery. But you can't talk about the history of Major League Baseball without talking about Tommy John. So to me, the Veterans Committee needs to do the right thing and put him in the Hall of Fame the next time his name comes up. He needs to be eligible on that ballot, and he needs to be put into Cooperstown because he belongs there. I wish he would have lived to see it, but he does belong there. It sounded like he was sick for a while, so obviously it sounds like this is more of a end of his pain, end of his suffering, and now he gets to go live an eternal life. But it's one of those things that no matter how much it's coming, it still hurts.
Yeah.
It's because it's the reality sets in. So my hope is that his family all got to say goodbye, that he was with his family at the time. So sending love and thoughts to his family, his kids, his wife. It's sad, but he's a name that will live on forever. Maybe not for the way that he wanted, but it was that surgery was completely revolutionary, and it is a big thing in medicine these days that surgery exists. So, if it wasn't for Tommy John, we wouldn't have it, or at least, we wouldn't. It may not be as big a deal, but Dr. Frank Jobe and Tommy John came up with the idea, and they did it, and and Major League Baseball in general has been better off because of it. So he deserves a lot of credit for that. So thank you, Tommy John, for being the guinea pig. And may you rest in peace.
Yeah, I mean, you go back, you think about the butterfly effect. What if he was like, I'm not going to do the surgery. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I don't want to be the guinea pig. I don't want to be the experiment. what would that have done to baseball, to where we are today? If the technology wasn't created, if Dr. Job didn't come up, like, there's all of these ifs. They did not fall where they fall. And you don't have Tommy John to say, yeah, I'll do something that I'll be the guinea pig to something that hasn't been done before. To Dr. Job saying, I'm going to do something that hasn't been done before. Then maybe Jacob deGrom never plays again. Maybe Shohei Ohtani, we see him and then he's gone, all too early, a decade early or whatever that may be. So I think when we have moments like this, it's important to reflect on the fact that if there was just a slight misstep, none of this stuff happens. And so thank you to the legacy of getting, these players back on the field with these unfortunate injuries to their elbow. And Tommy, for you, again, your name was everywhere, but to the people that knew you, let's honor the legacy of the man, his memory, the people whose lives he touched, the personal relationships he had, the laughs he had, the tears he had, and all of the good moments that have been a part of his great journey back home to heaven. So, Tommy, God bless you, and thank you for taking a calculated risk and saddling up even if you were afraid. Without you, we may have lost so many opportunities at other people playing the game of baseball. So, thank you for that. And you'll live on forever, just like Rex will. To look at the world of golf, Murph, and I know that you got your tea time and whatnot, so you let us know when you got to hop, but Scotty Scheffler...
Probably the next couple minutes, but yeah.
So I wanted to get to Scotty Scheffler quick. I know it's important to you. Scotty Scheffler thought the bunker shot was ideal until he saw it bounce hard off of a sprinkler, roll across the green, and disappear down the slope and into the water. A sure birdie turned into a bogey. His two-shot lead on Sunday in the FedEx St. Jude Championship was down to 1. And he has endured 5 runner-up finishes in nearly 7 months of close calls. He said, quote, "When is this going to stop happening?" End quote. So Scheffler, seeing what he has been able to do, his bounce back, right? They say it's not how many times you get hit or how hard you're hit, but how much you could take and keep moving forward. His victory in this championship was the 21st of his career, all since 2022. And it ended nearly 7 months without a title during a season that has been marked by astonishing consistency, but only one trophy to show for it from his season opener at the American Express in the California desert. He said, quote, "I felt like a week like this was coming. I felt like I was on repeat all year, just being like, hey, I'm playing solid. I'm close. It feels good to be answering some different questions at the end of the week," end quote. So Murph, Chef is back on the winning side of things after a little bit of a drought here. Your thoughts on this man who, with his second victory of the PGA Tour this season on Sunday, has now tied Tiger Woods for the second longest streak of consecutive seasons with multiple wins on the PGA Tour over the last 40 years. Tiger had 5 from 93 to 99-03. He had 5 from 2005 to 2009. Chef now has 5 from 2022 to the present. And the only one with more, Phil Mickelson, who has 6 from 2004 to 2009.
Yeah. Turns out all it takes for Scotty to win a tournament is to put that new driver in the back. I wonder what. Yeah. Well, he did. Well, to be honest, he did make a driver change this week and finally put QI4D in the bag. Now his, if you're wondering, is about as custom as it gets. He uses the face from the QI10 driver in the QI4D, and he uses a shiny top. So it looks like QI10, but it's actually a QI4D. But yeah, he finally put it in play this week, and he was awesome off the tee. Won by a lot, ends up winning by 8 shots. That's just Scotty Scheffler doing Scotty Scheffler things. He's first in the FedEx Cup standings. With his consistency all year long, he might run away with it again.
Yeah.
Who knows? But, Scotty has been a player that and I've said this before, I'll say it again, this is the closest thing that we have seen to Prime Tiger since Prime Tiger. Now, is Scotty going to go and, be world number one for another 7 years and break that record from Tiger? No, I don't think so. But could he? I wouldn't put it past him. I mean, he's one of the most consistent players that we've ever seen. I mean, he's got multiple wins. The tour championship rules are different, so he's probably not going to win that again. Or, well, he could. We'll see. But you're not starting at 10 under par like you did in years past, which, obviously was kind of cool. But he's got a pretty big lead in the FedEx Cup standings again, and he's doing his thing. Obviously, got one of the most unique he's got some of the most unique footwork that we've ever seen on tour, but it gets the job done. There's a reason why he is as consistent as he is. It's fun to watch. He is one of the best players I've ever seen because I'm not really old enough to remember Prime Tiger.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, folks, Prime Tiger was like 2000 to 2005. I wasn't watching golf yet. I was watching baseball, but I wasn't watching golf yet.
Yeah.
So, I do remember Tiger's win at the U.S. Open at Torrey in 2008. Obviously, I remember the Masters win in 2019. But you don't really, my generation, we're not quite old enough to remember Prime Tiger. You got to be like 35, 36 to really have been able to experience it. So, for TaylorMade in general, I think it says something about Scotty finally put the new driver in play, and sure enough, week one he wins.
Yeah.
So I think that might be the end of QI10 for him, hopefully, for our sake. And it's fun to the dude's freaking incredible, man. If we could be like 1/100th of what Scotty Scheffler is as a player, we'd all be very, very good players. So, if I can channel Scotty if I could be 1/100th of what Scotty Scheffler is today, maybe I have a chance at, sneaking through the qualifier. I don't know. What I'm probably going to do after I hop off here, I'll put the live scoring link in the feed in case anybody wants to follow along. But what I'm playing in is it's a qualifier for the Pennsylvania State Mid Amateur Championship. I don't expect to make it through, but we're going to have a whole lot of fun trying. So we'll see. As of right now, I'm just looking at the leaderboard. Top 38 in ties is at 4 over par. Now, that's through 4 holes. There's a lot of golf to play.
Yeah.
The first group off is only on hole 12. And I've still got about 3.5 hours before I tee off. So we'll see. Quite literally the last group that's going to be on the golf course. So, we'll see what happens, but we're going to have a whole lot of fun trying. So if I can just channel Scott just a little bit, maybe not with the putter, but maybe with the driver, just a little bit, we might have a chance.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting it, but we're going to give it a shot. We're going to me, if the score starts with a 7, I'm going to be very happy, whether I make it through or not with that.
Well, I will tell you this. I hope things work out. I hope you have fun. I know that you're heading off there today. Appreciate you taking some time before you tee off today and for us to be your pregame, essentially. So for Murph, once again, here on Mondays on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Congratulations to Scotty Scheffler. And may Scotty just, rub off a little bit, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Onto Brendan Murphy.
Just need a little bit.
Yeah, that's all you need, saying there's a chance. So we'll take a step aside here on
So
Wake
you
Up Call.
say there's a chance.
That's right. Dumb and Dumber, folks. I'm getting better. We'll take a step aside. we appreciate, obviously, I appreciate your time. I know people out here appreciate your time as well, Murph, and I'll look forward to talking with you soon.
Yes, sir.
Take care. Have fun.
Appreciate it, bud.
Of course. So that coming from Brendan Murphy one more time, and typically with us from 9 to 11 on Mondays, but is jumping out for a tea time today. And like he said, working to improve his game, improve his opportunities, and he's a fighter, and I love it, and I appreciate it. I respect it. And, I've golfed with him. I know he's got a lot of talent out there. So man he knows how to do it. I know how to putt. So he knows he's got a great game, and definitely I respect him and respect his craft for sure. He has put a lot of work into it. He's got God-given talent, and I just I'm proud of the kid. Really, I really am. So for a lot of different reasons, for how we met, how we connected, and just the drive that he's had throughout his life. So go drive that ball, sir. Have fun, and we'll talk with you soon. I'm hoping for good news as always. With that being said, we'll take a step aside for a fast break here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. When we come back, I will tackle the NFL with you. Looking forward to the conversation right after this.
Hi, this is Chris Rauda.
And Colleen Rakowski from Gray's Craze of Clay.
It's a fun, innovative, upscale catering solution. We've turned eating into a whole new experience. Each of our boards is packed with delicious mix of artisan cheeses. We use premium cured meats, fresh fruits, nuts, and all of the sweet touches that really bring out the best in every perfect bite.
We offer something as small as a grab and go that feeds 1, maybe 2 people, to our large board that can serve anywhere up to 25, 28 people. So we have the ability to really meet and hopefully exceed all of our customers' expectations when it comes to the different varieties of things that we have.
Charcuterie boards or boxes are healthy, fresh, delicious. They're made to order. We're baking the breads here daily. We're baking the cookies here daily. All of our dips are homemade, made in-house. All of our spreads are all made in-house.
When you open that board or box that we have delivered or you have picked up, we want you to know that it was made with care and designed to completely elevate your event, celebration, or meeting.
We've catered parties and events for up to 300 people. So if you're walking in to grab something for lunch or something for date night or movie night, that's great too. Our events go from you eating in the car on the way home to a catering event in a rehearsal dinner or cocktail hour or party.
When we do, again, know what the event is, specifically for a wedding, we like to schedule tastings so the bride and groom can come in and see what we have to offer, and we can then, as we talk, to try to understand what they're looking for, what the venue's like. We do like to have that one-on-one interaction when it comes to catering bigger events.
Our address is 4599 State Route 31, Suite 5, in Clay, New York. We're on the corner of Route 31 and Henry Clay at Clay Marketplace.
You can order on the phone by calling area code 315-409-4171 or online at grayscraze.com/clay-ny. Come visit us at Gray's Craze of Clay, New York,
where we want you to celebrate everything.
Hey everybody, this is Rockney Roberts from Willow Rock Brewing Company. We are here in Cicero at the Willow Rock Pizza Pub.
And I'm Kevin Williams, also from Willow Rock Brewing Company. Happy to be here and happy to be partnering with CNS and Dan Tortora.
You want some place where you can feel comfortable and hopefully ingratiate yourself with the community. And Kevin, he grew up right down the road from here. I grew up in Brewerton, so not too far away. We know the area, we know the people, they're great, and we were just really excited to be able to come to the area.
Yeah, and having the opportunity to meet some of these coaches, some of the people in general already, and seeing the CNS colors kind of around, and already partnering on a smaller level with individual teams really made this make sense to us to really formalize kind of a partnership with the school and get this rolling.
Willow Rock to me has always been about high quality beverages, high quality experiences, and now high quality food in our pizza pub. That was something new for us when we came to Cicero. Right from the drop, we knew we were going to have a focus on the highest quality food to go with our high quality beer. At the Willow Rock Pizza Pub, you're getting high quality, hand cut, top notch ingredients. We're open for lunch. That's a really important thing for us, is to be able to get that person in here like, hey, you only got 30 minutes for lunch, but we're going to have something for you that you can get quickly and available to everybody.
Yeah, we wanted something that was just a little bit outside the box, a little bit outside of comfort zone, but still something that you could rely on to be consistent and easy to look at and easy to be like, oh, I can see myself eating this. I can see myself wanting to have that more than once. Eating a whole pizza like our beef on weck pizza, I've never seen one anywhere. It's just a great ideas, great inspiration across the board. We're their spot to stop. We're their friendly neighborhood watering hole, as well as pizza place and place to stop for a restaurant. Not just beer drinkers here. We've got wines, we got cocktails, we got non-alcoholic stuff for the kids.
The location is more important today than it ever has been before, and we're lucky enough to be here in Cicero. The Willow Rock Pizza Pub is a place where you can bring your family. You can come in, you can grab a soda, you can relax. You can come after a game, before a game, your parents, your grandparents. Our goal is to make sure that everyone's comfortable here. We want students, we want athletes, we want your coaches. It's going to be a good time. So come here, enjoy the high quality food, high quality beverage that we're going to offer to everybody. And hey, go North Stars.
We're so happy to have the North Stars. We are very much a kid-friendly establishment. We have tons of space outside for everybody to be playing outside, as well as listening to live music, enjoying some pizza.
The Willow Rock Pizza Pub is open 6 days a week here in Cicero. That is Tuesday through Sunday. And our website is willowrockbrew.com, and our socials are at Willow Rock Brew. So find us on the net, find us in person. We'll see you soon.
Avicoli's restaurant, located on 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York, has been serving our community for decades. Your place to go for home cooking on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road is just minutes from Liverpool High School. And every single month, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is on site, on location, with Liverpool sports, student athletes, coaches, and administration telling their stories throughout the year. We look forward to seeing you on site at Avicoli's for their casual pizza side, their fine dining, as well as their bar. And of course, you can order online at myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. For takeout, delivery, and catering, call 315-622-5100. That's 315-622-5100. Come on in to the neighborhood spot Avicoli's, open 7 days a week in Liverpool, New York. K9 Campground Dog Boarding is your home away from home for your furry-loving friends. Open 7 days a week with drop-off and pickup times in the morning and later on in the day and early evening. K9 Campground Dog Boarding is the spot to trust with your dog for short and long-term stays. Call 315-299-4013 for more information. That's 315-299-4013, and go to k9campground.com as well. That's K9, ground.com, where you will find all of the information on their different cabins, which include the classic cabin, executive cabin, grand cabin, and luxury cabin. K9 Campground Dog Boarding, where your dog will have indoor and outdoor areas, as well as their own private cabin for any size, any breed, as well as dogs with different needs. Dog parents and dogs alike choose K9 Campground Dog Boarding. Isn't that right, Lily?
Hello, this is Dylan Husted, the owner of the Baked Potato Express. We do mostly big festivals or big corporate like private events. Typically just big festivals such as like Taste of Syracuse, Food Truck Battle, Battle of the Wings. I do the State Fair. They're ordering from a fresh food truck that is making real food and happy to make it and wants them to enjoy every bite. We season every potato before they go in the oven, and then they bake for an hour, and when they come out, we season them again after we cut them. We use real butter, real cheese, real ingredients, so it's all really good food and people love it. We have a lot of returning customers and regulars that we see very often. The customers really make a big impact, and this is a big food truck community. The events here are super busy. It's like in my blood. I like building things and and creating stuff that people love. And me and my friends are the ones that run the truck, so it's kind of, we keep it's a tight circle in there, and we have like a family sort of oriented truck, and it's a lot of fun, and we have a good time doing it, and people love our food, so it ends up making it well for everybody. You can contact the Baked Potato Express at thebakedpotatoexpress@gmail.com or the Baked Potato Express on Instagram or TikTok. We are very happy to be partnered up with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora as the exclusive sponsor of the Annoying Moment of the Week. And be sure to try DT's baked potato creation at all of our food trucks. The Baked Potato Express. Let's get baked.
Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
This is Jim Dispenza, owner of Game Point Sports Complex. You hear the same story across any sport that kids play and any sport that adults play. There's never enough places to play. That was definitely true with volleyball, definitely true with basketball. Could be cheerleading, it could be field hockey, which is what we're seeing now. Every sport has a lack of places to play, and I think Syracuse in particular is a place where it's really bad. Despite the fact that we've got a lot of athletic talent around here, we just seem to have not enough places for people to play, and they're going to different places. They're going to Rochester, they're going to, Buffalo. They're going all different places because we don't have a place here, and I felt like that should change. This was a long project from planning all the way through execution to opening the doors. A lot of work went into it, obviously, a lot of money, a lot of resources, and the dream always was kids being in the gym, having a good time. I've always felt like sports is the most unfiltered joy that you can observe with people, that people can experience, because it is fun, it is a sense of accomplishment, it's all of that wrapped into one thing. And so watching kids going up and down the court with big smiles on their faces has been just amazing experience. I'm looking forward to years to come of that same thing. We've taken the time to invest in multiple sports, and then what we're finding is the mere fact that we have a large, clean, well-lit space has opened a lot more doors for us beyond basketball, volleyball, pickleball. Now we're having some interest from cheerleading. We've got girls field hockey coming in, and then also there's quite a bit of room for spectators. We've got bleachers, we've got benches, we've got a concession lounge where people can get food and drinks. We're going to have multiple sports going at the same time, using every square inch of this place for what it was conceived for, which is basically people to come in, have a good time in the sport that they prefer. We manage each situation differently. Everybody has different ability to afford different things. Some are bringing 10, 15 people, some are just 2 people. I've had a lot of situations where it's a father shooting around with his son, it's a mother playing pickleball with her daughter or with her son, and then those situations come up and we work with people, and that's allowed us to have groups from 2 people up to 30 people and have some flexible pricing behind it. We're an organization that is here to work with the community any way we can, and I guess part of it is just making sure that we have the flexibility to put together a plan that makes sense regardless of the size of your group. So in order to book time, the best option is to go to our website, gamepointsports-syr.com. You can click from there and sign up for events, sign up for your own particular training, sign up for birthday parties, all of that.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks coming to you on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. GG Cards and Breaks open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 6, Sundays from 10 to 5. Make sure you make your way out there this week for packs, boxes, graded cards, singles, and more, including everything that you need to protect those cards, travel with them, and showcase them. Go be a big kid at GG Cards and Breaks. Whether you love baseball, basketball, football, soccer, as well as Disney Lorcana, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, and more, all you have to do is go to GG Cards and Breaks on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York, and have some fun with this beautiful sports card and trading card community. It starts with Josh and Anthony, their care, their extra mile that they go every single time. It just means a lot. It sticks out. So you got to respect those out there that are going the extra mile for everybody, doing everything they possibly can. And I can't even begin to tell you how many hours this staff puts in to truly give you an experience every single time you walk through the door. So thank you to GG Cards and Breaks. Go and visit them Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 6, Sundays from 10 to 5 on 639 Delmar Place at Syracuse, New York. With that being said, back here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and a couple final pieces here this morning as we start off this week in August. We'll take a look at a few things that are going on here. The high ankle sprain for Jeremiah Love, the rookie, high drafted rookie from the Arizona Cardinals. God willing, he will be okay and stay okay. He'll heal up fast and stay healed. He is unlikely to play the rest of the preseason for the Arizona Cardinals, and the Cardinals head coach Mike LaFleur said, quote, "It's an ankle, so we'll keep it at that," end quote. So the position that they're in right now is obviously they drafted him high. He's their starting guy. They need him out there. Week 1 is against the Los Angeles Chargers, and he played 23 snaps on Thursday night this past week. He rushed 11 times for 58 yards, and he caught 3 passes for 14 yards against the Las Vegas Raiders. Shout out to Chris Berman. So, with that being said, LaFleur said it's a rookie that hadn't played, explaining what the Cardinals hope to accomplish with that kind of workload. He said, quote, "Knowing that, not to share too many secrets because I haven't said it with the players yet, but knowing it was about what it was going to be in terms of how many games these guys were going to play for what we are looking for. So yeah, that's what the thought was," end quote. So hopefully we will see Jeremiah Love healthy, well, and ready to go for week 1, and hopefully just healthy, ready to go in general, even if it takes a week or two. Hopefully it doesn't, but let's definitely send out our prayers, our well wishes, and our good vibes toward Jeremiah Love, hoping to see him out here sooner than later, and hopefully in week 1 against the Los Angeles Chargers. Speaking of Los Angeles, let's go to the other franchise, the Rams. Aaron Donald, their longtime defensive lineman who won a Super Bowl and then retired, he worked out with the team again this past Saturday as he continues to determine if he's going to come out of retirement. Donald's quote-unquote tryout at the team's Woodland Hills facility was listed Sunday on the NFL's transaction report. It's the second time he worked out for the team in this training camp. Sean McVay said the decision will come on Aaron Donald's timeline. He said, quote, what I don't want to sit here and do is put a timeline on it. Then something comes up when I have to push it back. So if he puts himself in a position where he says yes or no, I think he's earned the right to have clarity on that. We are not at that point yet. I am hopeful that it will be sooner rather than later, but I also want to respect when he does feel that clarity will come. I think there's a chance we will be closer to that than not. But again, I don't want to say too much or put some sort of invisible deadline on something that doesn't exist on my mind for him, end quote. Donald last appeared on the transaction report in early August after working out on a player's day off at Loyola Marymount University. That session was with defensive line coach Giff Smith, along with Senior Vice President of Sports Medicine and Performance Reggie Scott, and Senior Director of Strength and Conditioning Justin Lovett. After that workout, McVay said the former All-Pro, quote, looked outstanding, end quote. He spent his entire season with the Rams after being a Pitt Panther in college, and the Rams have just brought in Myles Garrett. If they were to get Aaron Donald back, the team that I think had the best odds of winning the NFL title going into this season with the Seahawks, they could jump the Seahawks and have the slight edge with Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett. So here's to hoping Aaron Donald's coming back, that his body's ready to go, and that more than anything else, he's ready to bring it all together. But healthy body, healthy mind, healthy body. So let's hope for the best for him, and really looking forward to what could be in the NFL this season. So high hopes. Speaking of high hopes, the Dallas Cowboys have signed an All-Pro in Von Miller. He agreed to a one-year deal. The future Hall of Fame pass rusher is coming home. It is a one-year contract for the man who attended DeSoto, Texas High School before heading to Texas A&M. He's entering his 15th season in the NFL, and he has more sacks, 138.5, than any other active player. He wrote on social media, "Here we go," along with an image of himself in a Cowboys uniform. Von Miller's 37 years old. He'll be asked to be part of a pass rushing rotation that currently features Rashawn Gary, as well as Donovan Ezeraku, first-round pick Malachi Lawrence, and could have Sam Williams, James Houston, and Maris Lufau. Miller recorded 9 sacks last season for the Washington Commanders, his highest total since 2021, and that was in year 14 for this young man, when he finished with 9.5 sacks back in 2021 while splitting time with the Denver Broncos and Los Angeles Rams. He was a first-round pick by the Denver Broncos back in 2011, and he's been named to the Pro Bowl 8 times. He's been a first or second team All-Pro 7 times. He was the NFL's Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2011 and twice finished second in Defensive Player of the Year voting in 2012 and at 2016. He will join a defense that has Quinnen Williams signed to an extension of 3 years, $105.9 million. And we'll see what this does for a Cowboys defense that is going to be going up against those Philadelphia Eagles that know what it's like to win a title. In my opinion, if they're healthy, the Washington Commanders are a good team, and arguably the team that could win this division, in my opinion, if I had to put my feet to the fire right now, the New York Giants. So Dallas needs all the help they can get, and they just got some help from an All-Pro, which I'm very, very much looking forward to seeing him out there for the Dallas Cowboys. Before we hop out of here, a final note in college football that I'd like to address here, and that's something that's been happening over the last few days, and that is the jersey. This number, retired, unretired, these different things that have been going on here. So I do want to address this, and I just brought up the Washington Commanders, and here we go with Washington Commanders quarterback, former LSU quarterback. So Jaden Daniels has sent a cease and desist letter to LSU after their current quarterback was given the number 5 that he wore. An attorney representing Washington Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels has informed LSU that it can no longer use his name, image, and likeness, according to an August 5th letter sent to Tigers athletic director Verge Ausberry, a copy of which was obtained by ESPN this past week. At the center of the dispute, according to a statement from Daniels' spokesperson, which they gave to ESPN, is that the Tigers are allowing sophomore cornerback DJ Pickett to wear the number 5 jersey that Daniels wore when he became LSU's 3rd Heisman Trophy winner back in 2023. While Daniels' jersey hasn't been retired by the Tigers, it's the first time a player has worn number 5 since he left the program for the NFL. This is the statement from Daniels' spokesperson. Quote, "The Daniels family is deeply disappointed and feels profoundly disrespected by LSU's decision to give Jaden's number to another player. Jaden and his family had every reason to believe that his number would remain a meaningful part of his LSU legacy and would be honored and protected in recognition of his extraordinary contributions to the university." End quote. DJ Pickett wore number 3 during his first season with the Tigers last season when he was named a freshman All-American. He led LSU with 3 interceptions to go with 37 tackles and 1 sack and 524 defensive snaps. DJ Pickett was wearing number 5 when the Tigers opened preseason practice last week, leading to questions why first-year LSU coach Lane Kiffin had allowed the jersey swap to happen. The statement says, quote, Jaden made it clear that he did not want the number given to another player, and he believed his wishes would be respected. I believe this is the statement coming from the Daniel spokesperson. Quote, his Heisman Trophy winning season and everything he accomplished on and off the field cemented his place in LSU history. To see his number given to another player is incredibly disappointing and feels like a failure to honor the significance of what Jaden accomplished at LSU, end quote. The number 9 jersey that Cincinnati Bengal quarterback Joe Burrow wore at LSU hasn't been worn since 2019 when he won the Heisman Trophy and led the Tigers to a 15-0 record and a college football playoff national championship over another Tiger family, and that being the Clemson Tigers. So Kiffin told reporters August 5th that Pickett had been promised he could wear number 5 when he signed with the Tigers in December of 2024. Pickett had wore the number as a high school star in Zephyrhills, Florida, where he was the number 2 cornerback in the class of 2025 by ESPN Recruiting. Kiffin said, quote, DJ is in number 5, and that was a situation that was promised to him in recruiting here for him to sign here. I've done a lot of research on that with the family and the representatives and the people. So really, I don't have a decision to make. It was promised to the kid. It was done for whatever reason. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to judge something that was done when I wasn't here. But when a kid is promised something to come to a school, he should wear it. So at that point, I don't think that's really my decision. We should honor what he was told, end quote. So here's an interesting thing amongst all of this. Jaden Daniels' number is not retired. So for Jaden Daniels to be upset about this, yeah, it stinks, right? You want your number to never be worn again, but that's the decision for LSU to make, not you. And the jersey hasn't been retired. Like in the case of number 44 at Syracuse, the feelings of having it be worn again or not worn again, I mean, those are feelings, right? Those are emotions, and they're validated by the Brown family and the Little family and the Davis family. But ultimately, that jersey has been retired. The number has been retired. They would have to unretire it to give it to somebody. And if that was the case with Jaden Daniels, where they said, we're going to retire your number, it's going to be yours forever, and then 5 seconds later they release it, or whenever they release it, after telling him that it was going to be retired, that's a different story. But to say, oh man, somebody's wearing my number, I don't like that. Well, LSU didn't retire the number, and if they didn't tell you they were going to retire the number, then there's really no case to be had here. It's just more of being upset that somebody gets to wear your number. At the end of the day, it doesn't take away from anything Jaden Daniels did, and I don't find this to be an overwhelmingly big issue, but it's become a big enough issue for Jaden Daniels, for LSU and him and DJ Pickett to figure it out. And it's also, they're not even playing the same position. One's a quarterback, one's a cornerback. So it's not even like they gave it to another person of the same position. So this will be interesting to see. Did LSU promise him that it was never going to be worn again? Because if there was a promise, if there was something written down, if there was a plan, and they went back on it and he was unaware, then yeah, that is an issue. But if this is just, I don't like it, well, LSU can simply say tough at this point. So hopefully they work it out, figure it out. Hopefully Jaden Daniels stays healthy and has a great season this season, and hopefully LSU does the same thing with DJ Pickett and the crew. With that being said, I want to thank you for being here with us on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, up and down the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast, and all around the globe on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.mixlr.com. Many thanks to Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn, and YouTube. All you have to do to find us is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. Many thanks to our wonderful partners in Central and Upstate New York, Great Lakes Honda City, the Wildcat Sports Pub, GG Cards and Breaks, Ma and Pa's, the snack capital of the world, the Baked Potato Express, Gray's Craze of Clay, New York, Skippy's Ice Cream, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Pizza Man, Mother's Cupboard, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Chick-fil-A Cicero, Avicoli's, Game Point Sports Complex, Willow Rock, where I will be in less than 2 hours, which is why we're finishing a little earlier here today, so I could set up and get ready for the CNS North Star Band. So thanks to Willow Rock Pizza Pub and the Willow Rock Brewing Company for our afternoon special at 12:30 today, Monday, August 17th. And of course, we are the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Ontech Charter High School here in Syracuse, New York. The Gray Wolves are here with us every week on Thursdays at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time with student athletes, coaches, and more, speaking on what it is to have the Wolfpack mentality, telling their story and the greater story of Ontech Charter High School. Leaders of the Pack happens once a month, where we have the opportunity to speak with leadership of Ontech Charter High School about the uniqueness of this school, what it offers with no districting here in the state of New York. Anybody from New York State can go to Ontech Charter High School. It is public. It offers a ton of opportunities. The classrooms are very hands-on, the teachers going beyond the typical lesson and really seeking to help kids in today's world of social media, of everything that's gone on with being inundated with information and just navigating today's kid. Going above and beyond is Ontech Charter. It's for me, it's Ontech Charter High School. I wanted to work with them because they dare to be different. We do the same thing here on the show, and I love aligning with people that truly care and are willing to try things out that have never been done before. Ontech Charter High School, welcome to the family. If you want more information, you can go to ontechcharter.com. The Binghamton University Bearcats are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find the Bearcats every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time in our Bearcat time that we have here with student athletes, coaches, administration, and alumni. Find all of it by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, find the Binghamton playlist. The Bearcats are also on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the multimedia partners tab. For more information, go to binghamtonbearcats.com and go Bearcats. I want to thank Brendan Murphy again for being a part of the show. I want to thank you for being a part of the show just by showing up here to the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Facebook, you'll find us at Wake Up Call DT, X at Call DT, and Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT. I will see you at 12:30 today. Come and have lunch with us here on a Monday, August 17th, with the CNS Band as we make history with the North Stars Band doing their first broadcast on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. I cannot wait to see the kids, the families, and all of you. Today is a great day to have lunch at Willow Rock on 6200 South Bay Road in Cicero, New York. We'll see you out there. In the meantime, God bless, no stress, do your best. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and we'll talk soon.